What's up, people? This is Teenage Girl 30 here, and this is my mini Q&A number 17. I want to thank you guys so much for sending me questions, and thank you for having it under a 10 question minimum. If you do have questions for me, please send it to my YouTube inbox. If you actually send it in the comment section, I probably won't see it. And as usual, for those that actually send me questions, you are going to be credited at the end credits of this Q&A. But let's get started with the first person with the set of questions for me is Real Spider-Man Noir Fan. Your first question for me is, have you ever been bullied or been a bully? I tease a lot. I tease my friends a lot, but I don't consider that being bullying. I don't go out of my way to hurt people. But I will say this. I have been bullied from when I was mostly in middle school, mostly in junior high school, and then also a little bit in elementary school. It was very difficult for a girl who has ADHD. That not a lot of people understood that at that time in the 80s. Not even teachers, and they didn't really understand what I was going through. So yeah, I kind of got, I'm not going to say bullied, but it was really difficult to get through school around that time. In junior high school, I was bullied because of my weight, and that's just pretty much how people are. They bully things, that they pick on people. They pick on you when they don't understand you that well, and that's just how it is. And yeah, I've been bullied. I'd suggest no one to do that with anyone else. But moving on from there, have you ever watched the movie with Eminem called 8 Mile? And if so, what are your thoughts on it? I think it was brilliant. I think it was a very good way to tell his story without over commercializing it or without over Hollywoodizing it. It was just about him explaining his life and what he had to go through to get to where he was. Especially the fact that he's a white rapper in a black rapper's world. That's pretty much how it is. It was after Vanilla Ice. Let's face it. When it came to white rappers, Vanilla Ice tainted the whole idea of white rappers. And Snow did the same thing. Snow kind of made a joke of it in people's eyes. So there weren't really any real white rappers. So he actually talked about that in the movie, and I think it was really brilliant. Especially it was starring him, and as well as the late great Brittany Murphy. So for those individuals that have not seen that movie, my suggestion to you is to rent it, because it's a really well done movie, especially the soundtrack, and it deserved the Oscar for that soundtrack. But moving on to your next question for me, what games are you planning to get? I am a huge fan of BioShock. Like, straight up. Anything BioShock, I will want it. I want to get it. I want to play it. That's how I am. And I am looking forward to BioShock coming out. I am looking forward to BioShock coming out on the 26th, as well as Tomb Raider. I'm looking forward as well to see, Tomb Raider. I kind of am interested in Tomb Raider, as well as the latest Grand Theft Auto. Now, I haven't played Grand Theft Auto since San Andreas and Vice City. So it's been a minute for me, but I am looking forward for those games to come out, and I'll probably may have to pick between the two because I don't think I can afford all three. But anyway, if your Xbox 360 and Sega Genesis got messed up both on the same day, what would you do? I'd be really sad. I'd be real pissed off if something happens to the Xbox 360 because I paid a lot of money for that thing. But I will really be sad if the Genesis goes away, because there's so many memories of the Genesis, especially Sonic 2. It's not the same as when you upload it from Xbox Live, or if you upload it from the PlayStation Network or whatever. It's not the same as playing it on the original console. I will be sad if that goes, but then I'll move on. You know, I won't be like, oh, I can't go on. I'll still be able to go on. But your final question for me is, why is Cream Crazy bald, and why is he still so young? I guess what you mean is, he's so young, so why is he bald? Honestly, I don't know. That's probably something you want to ask him. But I really haven't paid any attention to that, because I like his videos as well as his rants. So if you want to know, you probably want to ask him. Thank you, Real Spider-Man Noir Fan, for your questions, and please, by all means, send more. The next set of questions for me comes from Largest85. Taylor Swift's video, I Knew You Were Trouble. What do you think of her new look? A kind of darker edge to her, and is this a sign of her turning heel in the future? To be honest, she'll probably turn heel before that coward John Cena. Honestly, I don't really consider the fact that she's turning heel. I consider the fact that she's growing up, she's getting older, she has different tastes, she wants to try new things, and she's not being dangerous with it. She's actually being very mature with it, and she's constantly growing as a person. So I really have seen Trouble, and I have enjoyed the video, and I really see that she's loosening up a little bit. So honestly, I think she's going to be fine. I don't see her as going heel. I don't see her as having a darker edge. I do see her as growing up and actually trying new things. So, I mean, that's pretty much how I see things about Taylor Swift. What do you do when you're homesick? Do you play video games when you're sick with the flu or have a cold like I have now? I'm sorry that you're sick, Largest 85, and I hope you feel better. But when I actually have a flu or the cold, I'll be unconscious. I'll probably have so much medication in me that I'll be like, or maybe it's just the fact that my fever would be so bad I'll be in bed curled up and asleep all day. That's just how I'll be. Unless I'm feeling better and I feel like playing video games or watching a movie, I would. But mostly if I'm really, really bad, no. I'll be in bed curled up, not doing nothing. Just feeling bad about myself. Okay, your next question for me is, why is John Cena such a wimp and why doesn't he turn heel? He makes me sick. I hate his guts. Good grief. You're probably the billionth person on this planet in the YWC that cannot stand John Cena. I'm not going to lie. Some of his speeches are ridiculously corny and very cookie cutter. But like I said in many topics that I've had about John Cena before, the guy represents truth, justice, in the American way. He's a true representative of what a face is supposed to be. It's just people are tired of the gimmick. They're tired of the same thing. They want him to reinvent himself. But please, go back and look at old footage of his debut and maybe in his earlier years before he became, as to when he was the teacher of Thugonomics. He was a heel back then. Was he taken seriously then? No, he's a cornball as a heel, okay? People, stop asking John Cena to go heel. Go back and look at the old footage. You will regret the day that he will ever go heel in that direction because he is not natural with it. It's unnatural for him to be a heel. He's more natural as a face or maybe a frustrated face than a true heel. So no, I don't agree with him going heel at all, and I hope he doesn't go heel. I hope he actually becomes a frustrated face like Christian did, or maybe him staying a face and just be truth, justice, in the American way. Because right now he's going in the whole frustrated face angle with The Rock, with the whole redemption angle, and I think it fits him well. So I have no beef with that at all, and I hope it stays that way. But moving on to your next question that you have for me, are you getting an Xbox 720 when it comes out? Probably not, because I can't afford the price tag. It has to go down a little bit. Plus, I have learned the hard way, when you buy a product when it just came off the factory line, there's always bugs and issues and things that's always problematic with it. So honestly, I always wait a few months while it's been out and it has a little bit of a cycle before I actually go and buy the system. It's not so much because of the price tag. It is mostly because of the fact that when you get something that's fresh off the market, there's always problems with it. So then they'll send out the updated version. Yeah, I know they send out a lot of uploads. I mean, a lot of uploads for new upgrades. They send out like new upgrades for like the bugs and everything like that. I know they send that out for the whole system itself, but still there's always hardware issues when they actually comes off the assembly line, so I always end up waiting a little bit. But anyway, I hope I didn't sound redundant with that question. But what are your thoughts on Selena Gomez and when she turned heel? Honestly, I think Selena Gomez is finally growing up. She's always been a chick that's had an old spirit, and that's the reason why that she's been really mellow about some of the things she's done. But I think she's just growing up. I think she's definitely okay. I don't really see her going heel, but I see her that she's kind of open to life now. Like, she's like a lot of things in her life, especially with the breakup of Justin Bieber being so public. I really do feel that she's actually growing up and becoming a woman from that. So I really don't see her going heel. I think she's going to be fine how she is. What divas do you see going into the Hall of Fame in the coming years? I see Lita going in the Hall of Fame in the coming years. I see Lita going. I see Possibly Beth Phoenix, maybe? Because Beth Phoenix was definitely a dominant heel when she first made her debut. I really do see her maybe a few years down the line. But I honestly do see Lita to be the next person in the Hall of Fame because she was a huge huge contributor to the Attitude Era when it came to the Divas, when it came to the women's division at that time. And especially how she represented the women's title. So I really do see her going to the Hall of Fame next. And possibly Michelle McCool, maybe. Because she's probably the first person that will ever split. Now, she was the first dual champion. So I think that she will actually be able to be in the Hall of Fame someday. So I'm calling those two out. The next question that you have for me is, do you like the Balam Garden, music from Final Fantasy VIII? I'm trying to remember how it is. The Balam Garden is where you first start. Yeah, okay. Yeah, where you first start off. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I actually do like the soundtrack of Final Fantasy VIII. I mean, people hated Final Fantasy VIII. I don't know why, but I liked it. I really did. That was the first time I ever really got kind of involved with Final Fantasy VIII. I mean, Final Fantasy Universe was the Final Fantasy VIII video game. That was the first thing that got me, and I loved the music. I really did. Especially how the music would fit in with the cutscenes. I absolutely loved it. And I really do love the beginning of that. And your final question that you have for me is Taylor Swift a goody two-shoes, or is that part of her gimmick, or is she really like that in real life? I think she's like that in real life. That's just how she is. I don't really consider her a goody two-shoes. I just consider her a person that has manners. Like, seriously, she has manners. She's had a really true Southern upbringing, down home. Like, she's really heavily involved with her family. I really do think that that's just how she is. And I have no problem with that. My next set of questions come from Young Asshole 93. Wow, you got a name, dude. What do you think the Undertaker... what do you think the Undertaker looks weird with short hair? Less intimidating, or has he gotten old as heck? Honestly, I don't like the whole aerodynamic hair, but I have to admit he looks awesome in that whole Assassin's Creed hoodie thing. I don't even care about the hair as long as he wears the hoodie going out there. Let's say you were walking home or going to a neighbor's party and you ran into a lion and had a stare down. Ensued. What would you do? Stare it down until it walked away? Huh. Or I guess your question's for me. You have a set of questions. Try to scare the lion by roaring at him or her. Run away, or try to fight the lion. Stare down the lion until it walks away. That's my question. That's my answer to it. Let me see. Your other set of questions for me is, what time do you get up for work, and what time do you get home from work? I get up for work pretty early. There are times I have to get up at 5:30 in the morning to prepare leaving for work, because sometimes I have to travel. And then there are times I get up around 6:45, and then I have to be out by at least 7:30. Pretty much. If I'm here, possibly 7:30, probably about 7:30, 7:45. If I have to travel, probably 7 o'clock, 7:30 at latest. Your next question for me is thoughts on Necro VMX. I didn't look him up, so I have no idea. Sorry. I didn't look him up when doing this, so my bad. WCW 3 count 1 2 3. Hello there. I love AJ Lee and I wish she was mine. So let's start, shall we? Okay, I'm glad that you like AJ. What do you think of my baby girl AJ Lee, and why isn't my baby Divas champion instead of that skunk-haired chick Caitlyn? I'd rather her not be Divas champion, because let's face it, she really has not earned it. She's just been a valet for I don't know how long. And the only way that she will win is by roll up. Yeah, she really hasn't earned it, but Caitlyn has earned it. She's really earned it, and I really feel that she's a true Divas champion for a new girl. She really is. Well, new girl in WWE, of course. But I'm sorry, your baby girl doesn't deserve it. But what do you think of 3 Count what do you think of 3 Count from WCW with Shannon Moore, Hurricane Helms, and Evan Cara, I guess I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Did you like that stable? I remember Shannon Moore. I love Hurricane Helms. I can't remember. I'm sorry, that was so long ago. I'm sorry I can't answer that question for you. What do you think of Shannon Moore during the time in WWE and TNA, and what does he do now? I really don't know what happened to Shannon Moore. I know I prefer Shannon Moore when he was in TNA than when WWE, because WWE, it was more about his bodyguard than him. But I really do like Shannon Moore when he was in TNA. He actually had more of an edge. I don't know what happened to him now. I haven't looked him up. Do you have kids? And if so, okay, do you have kids? If so, plan on having kids? No, I have no children. I would like to have children in my future, but it all depends on who I meet. And who I meet to become my husband, of course. I am not really in any rush to have children at this time. What's your favorite hairstyle that you use? Dreads, afro, or do you relax your hair? I can't have relaxers anymore, and that's pretty much because of I have a scalp condition, so when I have relaxers, it actually makes my hair fall out more. That's the reason why I had to go natural. I had to go natural not so much by choice, but I didn't have a choice. But these are really the twists of the hairstyle that you usually see me in some of my videos are not dreads. They are twists. And it takes about 2 hours to do. I do not dread my hair because dreading your hair is practically permanent because you have to use wax. I don't do that. My hair is kinky curly so that I can actually twist and it will stick. But yeah, at times when I'm off, I actually do have a fro, but it's just to give it a more feminine look because unfortunately, when it comes to twisting my hair, I look kind of like a guy with the hat on. So, yeah. Do you have any tats? Yes, I do. I have one. It's on my lower back. It's not a tramp stamp. It's like off to the left a little bit. Were you ever held at gunpoint? No, and I don't really want to. How long do you see Velvet Sky wrestling before she retires? Good grief. Didn't she leave about a year ago and then all of a sudden she came back? I wouldn't be surprised if she'll dip out again maybe in the next few months after she loses her championship. But thank you WCW 3 Count 1 2 3 for sending me questions. And my final questions. Okay, Napoleon Guru, please, if you I love the fact that you're sending me questions, but I'm gonna be real. Please send me questions I can understand. Like, I really don't know what you're saying. I don't understand what you're saying. I can't even read the question right. So, if you have a question, either if it's personal or if it's about wrestling, please send it to me. But if you're going to make these really obscure questions that sound like it's something straight out of Ghost in the Shell, can you please just stop doing it? Honestly, stop doing it. But I'll still give you credit because you still send me a list of questions, so I'll still give you credit in my end credits. But I'm at the 18-minute mark, so it's not really so much of a mini Q&A as it is a Q&A. But thank you all for sending me questions. I will definitely give you guys credit at the end of my Q&A. This is Nature Girl 30 signing off. Peace out. Later.